Let's continue. لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي يُوسُفَ وَإِخْوَتِهِ. Certainly, in Yusuf and his brothers, there are ayatun, signs. For who? لِلسَّائِلِينَ, for those who ask. Meaning, in the story of Yusuf a.s. and his brothers, there are many signs for those people who are asking. Who were the brothers of Yusuf a.s.? As I mentioned to you earlier, that he had 11 brothers. It is said that the eldest amongst them was Reuben, R-E-U-B-E-N, and it's spelled in the Arabic language as Ra, Waw, Ba, Ya, Lam. So, in Yusuf a.s. and his brothers, there are many signs for those people who ask. Who are those people who ask? As-Sa'ilin over here refers to the people of Makkah. And it also refers to the Sahaba. As I mentioned to you, the two reasons behind the revelation of the surah. The Makkans, they asked to find out if Muhammad ﷺ was really a prophet. The Sahaba, they asked to learn about a story of the people of the past. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, before telling us about the story, that don't just read it as amusement, but take a lesson from it. There are many, many lessons in it. And ayat has been understood as, first of all, many lessons, many ibar, many things to learn, many points for reflection and thought. And secondly, ayat has also been understood as many proofs of Allah's qudra, of His power, of His planning, of His wisdom. So ayat refers to both lessons as well as signs. First of all, in this story, there is a clear evidence, a clear sign of who? The prophethood of Muhammad ﷺ. The people of Makkah, they doubted that. And when the surah was revealed, when the story was narrated, it proved that Muhammad ﷺ was really a prophet of Allah. Similarly, there were many lessons that were taught to the people, that look at how Yusuf a.s.'s brothers treated him unjustly. And look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected Yusuf a.s. Look at how his brothers tried to harm him. But look at how Allah exalted Yusuf a.s. He reached such a high post. So, in this story are many lessons, and each person must reflect upon himself. That how am I behaving with other people? Am I accepting them? Am I constantly in denial? How is my behavior towards them? Similarly, amongst the other lessons that are in the surah are, for instance, the fact that after every problem, there is a relief. After every dark night, there is morning. Like for example, Yusuf a.s., he went through so many difficulties. So many. But eventually, there was success. And also, it teaches us, amongst the many lessons are, that behind everything that happens in life, there is a reason. You might not see it, but there is always some wisdom behind it. You might think it's very unfair. You might think you've become so unfortunate. You're the most unfortunate person on the face of the earth. But there is a wisdom behind it. There is a reason behind it. Because the kind of situations that Yusuf a.s. goes through, each and every situation, what does that show? A great wisdom of Allah behind it. إِذْ قَالُوا, when they said, La Yusufu, surely Yusuf a.s. Meaning the brothers of Yusuf a.s., they said that Yusuf wa akhuhu, and his brother. What do they mean by his brother? Binyamin, the full brother of Yusuf a.s. And the others were half. So they said that Yusuf and his brother, they are ahabbu ila abina, more beloved to our father. Ahabbu, from the root letters, hababa, hub, love. Ahabbu, what is this? Ism? Tafdeel. So, ahabbu ila abina, he is more beloved to our father. Our father loves them more than he loves us. He gives them more preference than he gives us. إِذْ قَالُوا لَيُوسُفُ وَأَخُوهُ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَبِينَا مِنَّا, than us. وَنَحْنُ, and we are, meaning the rest of the 10 brothers, we are عُصْبَةٌ, a group, a clan. We are a big band. The word usbah is from the root letters Ayn, Sad, Ba. We learned Yawmun Asib, a very difficult, trying day. Asaba literally is to, what does it mean? Asab, nerves. It is used for veins. It is used for muscles, joints, because they connect the body together. So asaba is to connect. From this, the word usbah is used for a band or a small group of strong and powerful men. What is it used for? A group of small and powerful men, all of whose individuals are close friends and supporters of one another. So first of all, they're very strong. Secondly, they're all supporters of one another. And they're a means of strengthening each other. Together, they strengthen one another. They are united. They make plans. They execute them. And Zamakhshari, he said that usbah is used for a group of 10 people or more. How many? 10 or more. And some say between 10 and 40. Because this number of people, what does it demonstrate? Strength. And together, they're enough to do something. So they said, we are an usbah. We are a jama'ah, a group of 10. And we are much stronger, much older compared to Yusuf and his brother. Because Yusuf and his brother, they were much younger. According to some traditions, Binyamin was still an infant. So they said, we are an usbah. And look at our father. He loves them more. We are much stronger than them, much more valuable than them, but still he loves them more than us. Inna abana, indeed our father, lafi dalalin mubin, he is surely in a clear error. He is clearly making a mistake. Dalal is from the root letters, Dad, Lam, Lam. And dalal is used for error. But remember, dalal is also used for lack of knowledge, for ignorance. Like for example, about the Prophet ﷺ in Surah Al-Duha, what do we learn? وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. He found you unaware and He guided you. Similarly, the word dalal is also used for losing something. So there are many different meanings of the word dalal. Over here, when they say that he is in dalalin mubin, what do they mean? That he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't have any idea about what he's missing out on, about the wrong decision that he's making. Like children are saying all the time, my parents don't know. They have no idea. They don't know about the trends of society. They don't know about what words to use. They don't know about what's in, what's out, what's new, what's old-fashioned. They're completely outdated. They have no idea. Similarly, the brothers of Yusuf a.s. said this about their father. Who was their father? A prophet of Allah. Look at how Yusuf a.s. approached his father. Asking him about the meaning of his dream. Saying, Ya abati. And look at how these brothers, how do they talk about their father? Disrespectfully. Backbiting. Saying bad things about him. In public, amongst themselves. Disrespecting him. So they say that he is in a clear error. Now if you look at it, you might say that why did Yaqub a.s. give preference to Yusuf and his brother over them? Or why did these children feel like that? Because as parents, what have we been commanded to do? That we must be fair and just between all the children. Isn't it? To the point that if you give a gift to one child, you're supposed to give an equivalent to the other child. And scholars have said that it's to the point that if you smile at one, you're supposed to smile at the other. This is the adl that must be done between children. But we see that some children, they are naturally more beloved to their parents. Why? Mainly because of two reasons. First of all, because of their good behavior, because of their good akhlaq. And secondly, because of their physical appearance. Like for example, an older child and a younger child. An older child, you tell the child, do this. Teenager. Why? Who are you? I'm not going to do it. Rolling their eyes, turning away, pretending as if they didn't hear anything. Naturally, the parents are not going to have the same love for that child compared to who? a younger infant, a little infant, who looks so much more cute. So much more cute. And all that they have to do is just feed the baby, put the baby to sleep, and that's it. And if the baby cries, even the crying is so cute. So it's natural that if a child is more obedient, they listen to you more, they have good behavior, naturally you will like them more. And Yusuf a.s. had both of these characteristics in him. He was more obedient, he would talk to his father more, he had a better relationship, he had a stronger relationship, he would share things with his father. This is why his father liked him more. And secondly, Yusuf a.s. was also very beautiful. He was very handsome. So it wasn't that Yaqub a.s. was unjust, unfair between the children, but it's just that Yusuf a.s., his personality was such that anyone would be attracted to him. As we see later on in the story, that everyone was attracted, was pulled towards Yusuf a.s. His character was such. When he was sold as a slave and his master bought him, he said, we're going to keep him as a son. This is what he said to the wife. We're not going to keep him as a slave, we're going to keep him as a son. Similarly, the wife, she was attracted towards him when he was older. In the prison, what happened? Prisoners came to him. He was a very charismatic person, or a person who was very attractive by nature. This is why his father had more love towards him. So, we see that the brothers of Yusuf a.s., they did not like this idea. Then why does our father like him more? He likes him more, and he is clearly in error. And they say over here, his brother as well. As I mentioned to you, Binyamin at this time was an infant. And obviously because Yusuf a.s. respected him more, he was outstanding. This is why Yaqub a.s. naturally had more love for him. And if you look at it, the fact that the brothers are talking like this about their father, this is extremely disrespectful. And we should stay away from this kind of behavior. Because many times children, what do? They get together in their rooms and they're talking and crying. They don't love us. They don't want good for us. As if they are so unfortunate. We're most unlucky to have such parents who don't care for them, who don't have any feelings for them. This kind of behavior is very inappropriate. If you have a problem, go speak to your parents. Go speak with them. Discuss it with them. Find a solution. And if they have some objection against you, then fix that. Instead of demanding that they should love you unconditionally, no matter how disobedient you are, no matter how disrespectful you are. No. Uqtulu Yusuf. They're so jealous of him. They hate him so much, to the point that they say, kill Yusuf. Let's just get rid of him altogether. Kill him. Or, if you don't want to kill him, itrahuhu. Throw him. Cast him. Where? Ardan, in a land, meaning in another land. Either kill him, or just throw him away in some other land. Itrahu from the root letters taraha. Tarh. And tarh is to discard something, to throw something far away on thinking it to be useless. Like for example, a piece of garbage. You toss it far because it's useless to you. It doesn't carry any benefit. And generally, tarh is also used for throwing something while hiding from people. That you don't want to throw that garbage in front of other people. It's so nasty, it's so bad in your eyes that you don't even want to show people that you're throwing it away. Like for example, a garbage can is placed in the washrooms or in the bedroom so that people can throw their garbage over there. It's not publicized because it's not supposed to be shown. So itrahuhu, just throw him, cast him off while hiding from your father. Ardan, in a land that is far, distant and unfamiliar. What's going to happen? When you do that, either you kill him or you throw him away. يَخْلُ لَكُمْ, it will become empty for you. وَجْهُ أَبِيكُمْ, the face of your father. The face of your father will be exclusively for you then. He will only pay attention to you. He will not have Yusuf to look at. He will not have Yusuf to smile at. He will not have Yusuf to praise. So he will be left with you. So he will like you more. Yakhlu from the root letters khalam wa khulu, khala. What does that mean? To become empty. To become vacant. So yakhlu lakum wajhu abikum. If there is no Yusuf, then you alone will have the love of your father. He will not be busy with Yusuf, and you will have him. وَتَكُونُوا, and you will become, مِن بَعْدِهِ, after him, after it, قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ, a very righteous people. What does it mean by this? That after him, meaning after Yusuf a.s. is gone, after you've killed him, after he's out of sight, you will become قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ, a people who are salih. What does it mean by salih? It has been understood in two ways over here. First of all, you will become right and proper, meaning all your problems will go away. All your problems will go away. Your life will be fixed. Everything will be fine. You'll become salih. Everything will be okay for you. Because right now, the root of the problem is who? Yusuf. Get rid of him and your life will be okay. Secondly, they say that وَتَكُونُوا قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ, Salihin means very righteous. That yes, it's a sin if we kill Yusuf, if we cast him away into another land, but later on we'll do tawbah. We'll become very righteous. We'll give some sadaqah, we'll do some good deeds, and we'll become very righteous people. We'll become very obedient. Right now, we cannot listen to our father because Yusuf is there. When Yusuf is gone, then we'll become very obedient. Do you understand this behavior? Many times, we make other people an excuse for our own laziness, for our own shortcomings. I cannot be good to my parents because of this person, because of that person, because of my older sister. When she's married and gone, then I will serve my mother. Then I will serve my father. Then I will do everything they ask me to do. Right now, they're too occupied with my older sister, with my older brother. When they're gone, then I will be good to them. We see that some people, they're envious of others. And they cannot get along with them. And they make them as an excuse for every problem in their life. They consider them to be the root of all problems in their lives. And instead of trying to make up with them, they think of ways of getting rid of them. It's not possible that you get along with every single individual you come across in your life. In your home, outside, at school, at work, at a store. Happens, right? You come across some people and you just cannot get along with them. You go to the doctor's office, that nurse, you just can't tolerate her. Or the doctor, you just don't get along with her. You go to the dentist, that hygienist, you don't like at all. It happens. Now, instead of getting rid of people all the time, what are we supposed to do? Come up with ways of making up with them some way or the other. Those people who come up with ways of getting rid of people, cutting them off, this is the way of those who are defeated. Those who are very lowly. Those who are arrogant and selfish because they only want good for themselves. They don't want good for the other. Just because you don't get along with someone, you want them to be fired. You want them to be kicked out of the place that you are working in. But this is very selfish behavior. That you only want good for yourself? What about them? Don't you want good for them? What about the work that they are doing? Maybe what they are doing is much better than what you are doing. Or the way they can do the work is much better than how you can do it. So if you want yourself to replace them, then this is very selfish behavior. This is the behavior of those who are arrogant and those who are very lowly. And some people, they also have this problem of wanting everyone's attention. That everyone should pay attention to me only. Or that I should be the one who is always being praised, always standing out. That people should praise me, people should look up to me, and because this person is here, people like him, people appreciate him, and because of that, I get faded away, I have to get rid of them. This is again what? Arrogance, pride, selfishness. We see over here that the problem of the brothers of Yusuf a.s. was that they wanted the attention of their father. And they wanted it exclusively for themselves. They didn't want Yusuf a.s. to be given any attention. Because they say, يَخْلُ لَكُمْ وَجْهُ أَبِيكُمْ. Then the face of your father will become empty for you. There will be no Yusuf to busy him, to occupy him. So some people have this problem. They want the attention of others, especially of those who are above them. For example, their boss, their teacher, their parent, etc. And instead of earning it by their own hard work, by their own dedication, by their own obedience, what do? They slander other people. They plant seeds of hatred against them. Instead of doing something yourself so that you are appreciated, what do? They cut other people off. They defame them. They talk badly about them, planting seeds of hatred against them. Again, this is the way of those people who are very arrogant. And the nafs, it justifies it, presents ways of making up for it later on in some way or the other. So then what happened? قَالَ قَائِلٌ. A speaker said. Qa'il from the root letters? Qaf, waw, lam. We read this word earlier as well, قَائِلُونَ أَوْ هُمْ قَائِلُونَ. That the punishment came upon them, bayatan, أَوْ هُمْ قَائِلُونَ, at night or while they were resting during the day. The word is the same, qa'il, however, the masdar is different. Qa'il is fa'il from qawl, one who speaks. So, one of them said, meaning one of the brothers spoke up, and it is said that this was the eldest amongst them. And there is a difference of opinion as to who was the eldest amongst them. Some say that it was Reuben, or Rubil, and according to others it was Judah. Allahu A'lam. But one of them said that لا تقتلوا Yusuf, don't kill him. Don't kill Yusuf. Do not let your enmity and hatred towards him reach this level of murder. Rather, what should you do? وَأَلْقُوهُ, and you should throw him فِي غَيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ, in the bottom of the well. Instead of killing him, you should just throw him in the bottom of a well. غَيَابَة is from the root letters غَيْن يَابَة. What does غَيْب mean? Unseen, hidden. And غَيَابَة is everything that hides something in it. غَيَابَة is what? If you put something in it, it will become hidden from you. You will not be able to see it anymore. So for example, a room that is dark, a basement that does not have any windows or any lights, it is what? غَيَابَة. Similarly, a locker, a tunnel that does not have any light in it, underground, a well. غَيَابَة is what? Anything. You put something in it, it becomes hidden. It's buried in the dark. The word also applies to a dense forest. And al-jub is from the root letters Jim Baba. And jub is used for a well. But what kind of a well is this? The word bi'r is also used for a well. There are two types of wells if you think of it. One type of well is that which is built, that which is constructed. What does it mean by that? That you dig a hole in the ground, you get the water out, but on the sides you lay bricks. And at the top as well you make like a small wall. Why? Okay, so that people don't fall, and also so that the well does not erode too quickly. Because if you don't put concrete on the sides, if you don't put bricks on the side, then what's going to happen? Each time you put the bucket in and you take it out, it's going to hit against it, and perhaps some mud is going to fall inside. So this well is unbuilt, unconstructed. So there are two types of wells. One is built and the other is unbuilt. Al-jub is a well that is not built. Al-jub is a well that is not built. And it's also used for a well that is not looked after. I mean, nobody takes care of it. It's been deserted. Nobody really goes there to get water out of it regularly. One is, for example, in a house or in a village, people go there, get their water out. Another well is, for example, on a trade route, on a business route. Generally, people don't use it on a daily basis, so nobody really looks after it. So throw him in a well that is deserted, that is not even built. Nobody comes over there. And what's going to happen once you throw him there? يَلْتَقِطْهُ, it will pick him up. Who will pick him up? بَعْضُ السَّيَّارَةِ, some travelers. Some travelers, they're going to pick him up. By the way, what do they mean by غَيَابَةِ الْجُبْ? If you put the two words together, ghayabat al-jub, what does it mean? In the depth, in the darkness of a well. So that once he's thrown in it, he's hidden. If you throw him, for example, by a rock, under a tree, then what's going to happen? Somebody or the other is going to see him. But if you throw him into a well, he's going to be hidden. If he dies, nobody's going to see his corpse. Isn't it? Nobody's going to see him from far. So when you throw him, يَلْتَقِطْهُ. يَلْتَقِطْهُ is from the root letters lam, qaf, ta. لَقَطَ. And laqata is to pick up something that has fallen. Pick up something that has fallen. And iltiqat is to pick up something from the ground that has been dropped by someone else. Like for example, you're walking, you don't realize you drop your phone. Or you drop, for example, your tissue. Now a person comes after you and they see a phone, they see a random tissue on the ground. What do? They pick the tissue up, they throw it in the garbage can. They pick the phone up, they give it at the reception. This is what? Iltiqat. To pick up something that has been dropped by someone. That has been forgotten and dropped by someone. So يَلْتَقِطْهُ بَعْضُ السَّيَّارَةِ. The word sayyara is from the root letter sin yara. And sayyara is actually used for a caravan. It's also used for an automobile, a car. It's also used for a caravan. And the word also applies to travelers who are traveling together. A group of people who are traveling together in a caravan. So some travelers are going to pick him up. In kuntum fa'ilin, if you're really going to do something. Meaning if you insist on getting rid of him, then don't kill him. What should you do? Just throw him in a well, in the bottom of a well. Perhaps some travelers, when they pass by that well to take some water out, maybe they will take him out. Maybe they will take him out. So don't kill him. So what do? They decided on this plan. Which plan? To throw him in the well. And they went to their father. But they couldn't just take Yusuf a.s. one day and throw him. Yusuf a.s. was very beloved to his father. And his father would take care of him, especially because he sensed jealousy from the rest of the children. Like for example, if a mother has two children, one is an infant and one is a toddler. What is she going to do? She's always going to be protecting the infant from the toddler. Why? Because the toddler does not realize, in their love for that infant, sometimes the toddler might bite, might pull on the ear, might poke in the eyes. So you cannot leave the infant even for a moment with such a child. Especially if the child has envy, which sometimes children do develop, even at a very young age. So in this case, the parents become extremely protective. And this was the case with Yusuf a.s. as well. So they couldn't just take him, they had to go take the permission of his father. So qalu, they said, Ya abana, O our father, malaka, what is wrong with you? La ta'manna ala Yusuf. You don't entrust us with Yusuf. You don't trust us? You don't trust me? What's wrong with you? Malaka. How come? This is not fair. Can you relate this? Are similar statements said today? Malaka. What's your problem? This is not fair. What is wrong with you? That la ta'manna ala Yusuf. You don't entrust us with regards to Yusuf. Ta'manna is from the root letters Hamza, Mim, Noon. Aman. What does aman mean? Peace. And amana? What is an amana? A trust that is given to someone. So ta'manna meaning you don't make us ameen. You don't have trust upon us with regards to Yusuf a.s. Wa inna lahu lanasihun. And indeed we are to him very sincere. We wish well for him. We want good for him. But you don't trust us with him. This is just like saying to someone that, can I ask you something? Although I know you're not going to listen to me. But can I ask you? This is like making the other person feel so bad that they're going to agree before they even say anything to you. Can I ask you something? Although I know you're not going to allow me, but can I still ask you? What's the objective of saying this? To make the other person feel bad. Guilt trip. This is exactly what the brothers were doing. They're making their father feel guilty, feel bad, so that he will allow them. And sometimes children use this technique. Emotional pressure. That this is not fair. And who usually talks like this? A person who wants to do something wrong. And he wants to put the other person in guilt. Emotional blackmailing.